The wig journey is full of so many things. It's full of fear, it's full of confusion, it's full of frustration. It's also full of joy, it's full of happiness, it's full of excitement. But most of all, I think the wig journey is full of trial and error. And today, in our Sunday wig chat, that is what I would like to talk about. The trial and error of the wig journey, because it's full of it. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. I am so glad that you are here for this Sunday wig chat, especially if you're new, because sometimes we just have to talk about it. I can show and demonstrate all day long, but some things need to be understood at a bit of a more philosophical or a deeper level. And the sheer volume of information that is out there these days, well, about everything for sure, but about wigs is leading a lot of people to a struggle that isn't necessary. And I do think there is something to be said for just making a decision and giving something a try. And my goal is to help you make really good informed decisions and to waste as little money as you possibly can as you're learning. A certain amount of trial and error is unavoidable and actually desirable. And I have said many, many times over the years, every single purchase, every decision you make on this wig journey teaches you something. It's valuable from the educational standpoint. If you are documenting everything, if you're tracking your purchases, you're creating some sort of a spreadsheet or a notebook or chart of some sort where you can write down your thoughts about the things that you're trying, it will help you make better decisions in the future and to not duplicate some of the purchases that haven't worked for you, because trust me, many of us have bought the same wig multiple times because we were overwhelmed and we just didn't remember. And today, I actually saw a post earlier today, and I've been seeing, it's kind of a theme that I've been seeing, people questioning information that's being shared. Because of the volume of information, there's bound to be contradictions. So let's talk a little bit about this sheer volume of information. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of things that I've seen and help you as you work toward discernment. I'm going to give you some tools that you can use, some resources that will help you until you've got some of that knowledge up in here. I think it's important for us to frame our experience accurately, because I don't want you feeling defeated. And perception and opinion rules the day over most things, well, in the world, but absolutely in the wig journey. There are very few black and white facts that cannot be disputed when it comes to the wig journey. A lot of this is preference and perception and unique to your own set of circumstances. I'll give you an example. So when I first started wearing wigs, everybody told me that wig grips were how you kept your wigs. Either you glued your wig down or you wore a wig grip to keep your wig secure, and that a wig grip was the easiest and best way to do that. Well, I'd already spent so darn much money on wigs that didn't work for me, that I wasn't wearing. I certainly didn't want to spend a ton of money on accessories that you couldn't even see. And so I bought the cheapest wig grip I could find on Amazon, some no-name brand. I figured, how different can wig grips be? And it didn't work for me. It didn't hold my wig. It kind of slipped. I found it really uncomfortable. So I tried again and I purchased a Milano wig grip. Milano is a wig retailer that is a human hair wig retailer. They have locations in New York, Florida, California. They're great. I have a coupon code for them. I own a couple of Milano wigs. And they're very well known for their wig grips as well. So I purchased a Milano wig grip and I didn't love it. Again, it didn't think it worked that well for me. So I gave up on wig grips. I figured I've tried to, they just don't work. And so I glued my wigs down for the first couple of years and gave up on wig grips, thinking I absolutely don't like them. And in the back of my mind, I couldn't figure out why everybody was telling me wig grips were so great, because I certainly didn't find that to be true. It's perception, it's preference, and it's where I was in my journey. A few years into it, I discovered wig grips from the Hair Grip. And for years, I raved about the Hair Grip wig grips. They were the first ones that worked for me. And I was able to stop using adhesive almost entirely because I found a wig grip that worked. Now I recommend Wig Guru all the time, and I love Wig Guru wig grips. The owner is a woman, and she is phenomenal, and she has innovated more than anyone else in this field. She owns something like 13 different wig grips at this point, and they are very, very different from each other. I have a video, a comprehensive video about all of her wig grips and who I think will work, what wig grip will work best for what person based on their circumstances, truly, because I think it's so amazing and will help so many people. I'll link that video below. But the point of me telling you this is you're going to hear recommendations for a lot of things. Some of them are going to work for you and some of them aren't. And our job, your job, is to frame every experience in a way that doesn't defeat you. I personally think every single experience you have on this journey is education. It is one more data point that's leading you to a world where you can wear wigs confidently, successfully, and joyfully, because you will have learned so much about what works for you and what doesn't. So document everything, every wig you try, even if you send it back, especially. Why didn't you like it? What about it? Was it fit? Was it comfort? Was it the lace front? Was it the color? What was it? Because eventually you will find yourself in a situation where you may actually repurchase a wig that didn't work for you because you didn't remember. And this is really going to help you to discern. And I think if you try wig grips and you find you didn't like one, what didn't you like about it? Again, some of this is just trial and error. Eventually you will get there, but you sometimes do have to go through quite a few things in order to get there. Another example, and actually what led me to making this video today, has to do with shine on wigs. So when I first started wearing wigs, I only wore regular synthetic wigs. I was terrified of heat-friendly synthetics because I had seen in the wig groups how horrible heat-friendly synthetics are, how they're so very difficult to wear, they don't last, just so many problems with them, and it had me terrified. And so I only wore regular synthetic. And I remember in not all of, but a lot of my reviews, I would get asked if the wig was shiny. And I didn't really notice shine on wigs. I didn't really understand why people were so bothered by shine because I just didn't really see it. Well, here I am almost 8 years later, and now I generally wear heat-friendly synthetic or human hair. I rarely wear regular synthetic these days. It just isn't my preference. And now I see the shine on regular synthetic because overall, not always, but generally, regular synthetic wigs are shinier than heat-friendly synthetic and for sure human hair. And so this is where perception and preference really comes into the picture, because I didn't have a need to deal with shine on wigs when I didn't notice it. But now that I notice it, I have to figure out how to deal with it because it bothers me a little bit. And I made a video talking about dry shampoo. I actually used dry shampoo on the wig on my head and had a surprising result that I didn't expect. And I made a video on it, which I'll link below if I can find it. And someone made a comment, I've used dry shampoo, it doesn't work. Here's the thing. I have polled my following multiple times, asking for recommendations for tamping down shine on a wig. One of the great benefits of having a larger following like I do on social and YouTube is I can get tons of advice from people on what works for them. I don't have to come up with all these things myself. I just have to ask and then maybe try them out. Dry shampoo is the holy grail when it comes to dealing with shine on wigs. It is the most recommended method for dealing with shine. And the women who are saying this are not selling anything. They're regular women wearing wigs, dealing with the wig journey, and this is what works for them. And yet I get constant comments when I share dry shampoo that I've tried dry shampoo, it doesn't work. Okay, well, let's refer back to my wig grip story. Not all dry shampoos are created equal. Not all wigs are created equal. Even if you have two different wigs and they're both made with heat-friendly or regular, let's say they're both regular synthetic, there are dozens of formulations of the chemicals that go into making a synthetic fiber. I would have to believe that every single variation responds differently to different things. And so a dry shampoo that works great on one wig might not work great on another. And I mean, last time I checked, there were 30 plus dry shampoos on the market, probably more. You may have tried one or two products that have been recommended for something like Shine, found that they didn't work, and you gave up. But I have found sometimes it takes multiple applications. Sometimes it takes different products. I have been known to layer products to achieve a certain effect. I mean, women, I wear 2 different types of foundation usually. I wear 2 or 3 different mascaras when I want my eyelashes to pop. It may take creativity to get something to work for you. And that's where the trial and error comes in. And the only way we can do this is to think of it as an adventure. This is an adventure. This is a hobby that I didn't choose. But now that I'm here, I might as well try to make the best of it and have fun. It's why I started making videos. I had to do something with my frustration. I had to make lemonade out of lemons because I was buying wigs like a crazy woman. I've done multiple videos on wig addiction because I lost it in the beginning and was buying wigs that we could not afford for me to buy. And I wasn't always returning them. And so I had all these wigs and I thought, okay, well, what am I going to do? Let me make videos, because the women out there who are brave enough to make videos that I watched helped me so much. Let me see if I can help people. And I've heard from quite a few of you who have either thought of making videos or are now making videos for the same reason, because you felt like you needed to do something with all of this. And so I just want to encourage you. Number 1, don't give up. You may have to get creative. You may have to try multiple products. You may have to try multiple combinations of products, but it could be a science experiment. I mean, there are so many other areas in our life where we're okay with trial and error and experimenting to find what works the best and how to use it more effectively. This is really no different. And ultimately, what has really helped me overall was knowing that I wasn't alone in all of this, that others were going through a similar journey as I was and sharing it. And I think that's what helped me the most. If you aren't on Facebook currently and you're really struggling, I strongly encourage you to consider joining it and finding a good wig group. I do have some listed in a document that I created called the Ultimate Wig Resource. I have a blog post on that topic on my website. The document is linked there. It's a spreadsheet. There's a tab. I think I might have said this earlier in the video. I'm not sure, but there's a bunch of tabs if you're familiar with Excel spreadsheets. And there is a tab for support groups, Facebook support groups, because they're not all great. And I wouldn't recommend just joining any one that you find. You really want a well-moderated one. Even if it's just temporarily, maybe you just do it for a season, because it's great watching videos, but there is nothing like getting some real-time help from other women who are going through what you're going through, and you're going to get a wider variety of suggestions and information that way than trying to randomly search for videos and hoping that the title and the words in the description are the same words that you're using to search so that you find it. I do phone and video consults. I do it on a donation-only basis, and I would be more than happy to chat with you and try to help with ideas if you'd like to do that. I'll put a link to my calendar in the description box below, but I am only one person, and so it could benefit you to have additional support. Let me know what First of all, if you have words of wisdom for your wig sisters in any area that's wig related, leave them in the comments. If you know of great resources, if you know of other people who make videos that are really helpful, put those in the comments. I'm always happy for you to refer people to other people's YouTube channels. I'm in no competition with anyone here, ever. And so if you know of great resources, let us know what they are. If you have tried dry shampoos for shine and found one that finally worked, if you have a favorite wig grip, just anything at all that you think you went through the blood, sweat, and tears to finally get to the solution, share it. If you're struggling with something, maybe leave it in the comments. If I have a video on that topic, I will give you a link to it. If I don't, I'll put it on my list of videos to make, and maybe someone will read your comment and have a suggestion for you. So let's chat it up in the comments and see what we can do to help. I just hope this helped you not feel so on an island. Like, I'm losing my brain, I'm losing my mind, I'm crazy. Why is everybody saying this works and it doesn't work for me? It happens. It unfortunately happens a lot. But successes also happen. And while you may be in a season of frustration, it won't last forever, especially if you don't give up. And most importantly, if you can reframe this in your mind and try to get out of the negative focus that maybe you're in. Everything is horrible. This is never going to work for me. Don't let yourself go down that path. Some of that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, this is an experiment. This is a challenge. This is a research project. I think you can get there, and you'll get there faster if you reframe it. That's my belief. I love you guys, and I really, really am so grateful for all of you. I'm grateful that you've given my hair loss purpose, that you've given me a way to focus in my middle life years where my kids don't really need me anymore, and you know, my job is winding down a little bit, and this is my happy place, and it's all because of you. Let me know if I can help in any way. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.